athletes come down the straightaway. That 4x800 leads everything.
There's Carson.
It's nice for their parents. And we're very fortunate the weather looks like it's going to hold for us. It's a beautiful day for track and field in Wisconsin.
And we'll start with the first running event in Division III boys competition. It'll be the 4x800 meter relay. The lane assignments: in lane 1, Assumption; Unity, lane 2; McDonald Central in lane 3; Spring Valley gets lane 4. Lane 5 is Columbus Catholic, and Marathon will run out of lane 6. This is the first of 2 sections of the timed finals in the boys 3,200 meter relay in Division III. And Broke, the weather forecast very optimistic for this 2-day event as well.
Well, no sun, but more importantly, no rain either. So an ideal morning for the athletes. And we're about ready to begin with McDonald Central, the 2-time champion in this event, in this first heat. So we'll get to see if McDonald Central can perform as a defending champion. One of 34 champions return in the boys and girls heats here this weekend.
Right now, 65 degrees as we begin the first leg of the 4x800. The wind north-northeast at 6 miles an hour, humidity 81%.
Mm-hmm.
6 teams running in Section 1 will have a full field of 10 lanes occupied for the second section, and then we'll compare the times of the 2 sections, and that's how we'll hand out the podium awards for places 1 through 6.
Who's winning?
They got out pretty quick in that first 200, just trying to get out and
Is that Satchel in third?
be in position. You never want to be out of position after that first leg.
Columbus Catholic leading Assumption as we approach the end of the first lap of 2 for this group of runners.
3 years ago, it's unbelievable.
The Spring Valley runner trying to make a move around the outside. Looks like he'll get second place. Long way to go.
59 in that first quarter, that first 400.
And Spring Valley in Tech does take the lead. Tyler Ellefson, the senior, passing Benjamin Bailing of Columbus Catholic. So Spring Valley now leading along the backstretch.
Talking about McDonald Central, they returned but 2 of the 4 runners who were the champions last year. So it is a different quartet running for McDonald Central.
In this group, Assumption with the best seed time coming in, 8:26.95. Looks like Spring Valley is probably going to have the lead at the first exchange here, the first 800 meters completed in this section. But here comes a challenge for the lead in the last 100 meters, and it's going to be a new leader at the handoff.
That's a nice opening leg around 202, 203 for the leaders. Sometimes a coach will send out his fastest 800-meter runner in that first leg, hoping to get position.
That was Zach Ruff of McDonald Central, who was the guy who got the lead for the Dons, or for the Macs, excuse me. But now Spring Valley, Jacob Riley with the baton. He decides to take the point on the backstretch.
Bill, I think that Darren Lau may have been on that 4x8 last year, the great 3,200-meter runner for McDonald Central. And that would have made a difference.
Clearer than mine.
Ruff, who Jay just mentioned, was one of the 2 returnees, so he's a tournament veteran. He ran like it.
Now Unity starting to push Spring Valley for the lead as we're halfway through this leg right there as he crosses the start-finish line. Jacob Riley for Spring Valley.
Leader came through in about 101 for his first 400.
Matt Peterson of Unity trying to chase down Riley as they come around the second turn.
Mark, what's the mindset of these athletes? This is our first event, obviously, but for those that are warming up or under tent somewhere, what goes through your mind when you know you're going to run in front of 10,000 people?
Well, first of all, if you don't have the experience of being up here, it can be a little overwhelming. The key is to just stay within yourself, not try to get out too hard, because you're going to pay back on the end of your leg or whatever your race is, you're going to pay back if you get out too hard.
And a good battle here for this next exchange, and in the lead it's going to be 765. That's Isaac Bohatti for McDonald Central. There you see Columbus and Marathon. They've fallen behind a bit, and now the front four have spread out a little.
As a coach, what you want, you instruct the outgoing runner. You want to get out hard in that first 75 to 100 meters and try to create a gap and give an illusion of distance and try to get those guys behind you in what we call no man's land, where they don't have anybody pushing them and they're by themselves, and it can be a little hard.
Bohatti, the leader, is a freshman. Clearly, these are seeded heats, so this is the slower of the two heats, but McDonald Central would like to post the time to give those folks in Heat 2 something to think about. The champions don't go down mildly.
And it's still McDonald Central leading now, extending the lead to a good 25, 30 meters, it looks, over Assumption. And the anchor runners starting to take their positions at the start-finish line.
It's not uncommon to see teams in the first heat make the podium. And McDonald Central is definitely running faster than their seed time, no doubt.
So Bohatti, the freshman, will hand off to the senior Sam Bleskacek. For Assumption, I believe it's Isaac Kolak. Yep, 69, Isaac Kolak. But now here's the hand from Bohatti to Bleskacek, and he's off and running.
Bleskacek, a member of the champions last year in this event. He's got a sizable lead.
He's really stretching it out. There you see almost half a turn on the back stretch.
That's what that getting out in that first 100, it makes a huge difference. Then settling in, you give that illusion of distance, and it's pretty hard to make that up because you're running by yourself.
So it's McDonald Central, then Assumption, Spring Valley trying to hold off Unity. Bleskacek maintaining that advantage, but again, he's running against the clock here and running against the teams that will run in Section 2 of the 3,200-meter relay. Bleskacek at 7:13 and change as he crosses the start-finish for his final 400 meters. Battle for position for second and third. Now Unity trying to pull into second ahead of Assumption, but the Royals runner holding him off for now around the back stretch. But Assumption has held off that challenge for now. Meanwhile, Bleskacek ahead of this group. He's in the middle between turns 3 and 4. 100 meters to go for Bleskacek, and we'll keep an eye on the clock.
Boy, he's using an upper body, everything he's got right now, because he's tying up a little bit. But look at that arm action. He's just driving home. It's pretty impressive.
Kolak of Assumption is pulled in for second place ahead of Unity. There's McDonald Central crossing first. 8:12:43 is what we're seeing on the clock for McDonald Central. And Assumption second, Unity third, Spring Valley fourth.
Well, if that holds up, they're 15 seconds under their seed time, which is not uncommon when you come up here. See teams drop like that.
And that is comparable to the best seed time of this group of 10, which are coming to the start line right now.
So McDonald Central posts the 8:12:43, and that's what, or excuse me, now they have 8:19:47.